a money mindset expert, no other than Mr. Pericles Rellas. Well,
Daniel, thank you for having me. It's great to be back.
yes, welcome, Mr. Pericles. And can you please introduce more about yourself that I missed?
Sure. I have been a money mindset expert for about 30 years now. I focus on helping people create the kind of life that they want. And a lot of times it revolves around money, but a lot of times we discover something else. So it's a really exciting journey. And large part of that is manifestation as well. I find a lot of people are struggling with manifesting, and then they find that their money mindset or their mindset in general is the one thing that's keeping them from being able to manifest. So we dive into that. We look at how money impacts us, how it doesn't impact us, all sorts of really cool conversations.
Really, really, truly cool. And thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world, Mr. Pericles. And tell us, what is a really manifestation?
Manifestation is the ability to create that which we want from nothing. And that, I think, at its core level is what that is. Now, manifestation isn't magic. Manifestation is founded in two areas, brain science and energetic science. And I think that if we look at the fundamentals of what we mean when we're talking about manifesting, we're looking at not just thinking about something in a specific way, because we can think about things a specific way and we still will fail in manifesting. It's thinking and feeling exactly how we would feel if we had that thing present, even though we don't have it right now. So it's having the thought, and then it's feeling the feelings from our heart and actually getting into that energetic vibration. And then that energetic vibration, when we move it from our brain, from our thought process, critical thinking, we move it down into our heart center. We actually move it from a very small field of energy, which is about this big around our heads, and then into our heart, it goes into the quantum field. And that allows that vibrational frequency to go out into the quantum field and attract things that are consistent with that vibrational frequency. So Abraham Hicks says it really, really well, that which is likened to itself is drawn. So we actually attract the things that are consistent with our own vibrational frequency. So that's the kind of the fundamentals of manifestation.
How is manifestation fundamentally different from simply hoping for the best or practicing positive thinking? What is the active ingredient?
Yeah. The hoping for the best is is a two-sided coin. We're hoping for the best, but we're also present to the worst. We're present to what we don't want. And when we live in that world of what we don't want, we immediately kill off manifesting what we do want. When we try to manifest to fix something, that thing that needs to be fixed is the predominant focus. And that is the thing that we're going to manifest more of. In other words, we get what we focus on and we get what we feel. So the universe does not respond to, does not care about what we say or what we think. The universe actually responds to a vibrational frequency. Now, we want to start with the thought of it. We want to start with the speaking of it. We want to start with the actions that are consistent with that. But then we want to move into that space of beingness, that space of feeling it in our heart. And that's when it moves from just positive thinking. Oh, I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. I know I can't, but I think I can. I think I can. I think I can, but I know I can't, or I hope it will happen. None of that will manifest what we want. But when we move from that thought to letting go of all of those concerns, letting go of all of those fears, letting go of all of those worries, and getting into that pure space of this is how I feel right now. This is how I would feel if I had that thing that I wanted, if I had the dream relationship, if I had the dream car, if I was making the kind of money that I wanted to make. This is how I would feel. That's when we start to get into the space of manifestation. then the next thing is we have to maintain it. This is where people think sometimes that manifestation is magic. Well, I'm just going to think about it and boom, there it is. It's going to happen. No, it isn't like that. It requires consistency. It requires dedication. It doesn't require work per se, because we associate work with it's hard and it's difficult, it's challenging. And that's not necessarily what this is. It may be challenging in that we're altering the way we're used to feeling. We're altering the way we're used to thinking into a new thought process, into a new vibrational frequency. But once we start to get comfortable with that and we start to maintain it, and suddenly we feel the way we would feel if we had whatever it is we want to manifest, and we're clear about what it is we want to manifest, and we stay in that place and we look for aspects of it manifesting in our life and we acknowledge it and we express gratitude for it, that's when we start to build the actual world of manifesting what we want. We start to see it, and then we start to see it actually realized as being manifest in our lives.
Interesting and empowering answer, Mr. Pericles. Truly, truly empowering indeed. A common criticism is that manifestation promotes magical thinking and passivity. Yes,
Yeah,
passivity. How does action fit into the authentic manifestation process?
it is like a support structure. So imagine we want to build a house and we envision a house, but we never take any action towards fulfilling on having that house built. But then imagine we visualize a house being built. We visualize and then feel that house being built. Then we start speaking about the house being built. And then we start taking actions consistent with the house being built, all the while feeling the way we would feel when the house is complete. All of those things work together to elevate the experience of I have my house. I have my house right now. Even though it may not be here right now, I'm manifesting how it feels to have my house. I'm consistently speaking about it in the positive. I'm consistently taking actions that lead to that house being built. All of those things work together to create a world in which we live, in which that thing that we want to manifest is actually present right here and right now. So the process of thinking it, the process of speaking it, the process of taking the actions are all just as important as the process of feeling it, because we can feel it. But if we just sit in a room and do absolutely nothing, it's going to make it much more challenging for that thing to manifest. Yes, it could very well manifest and it may take a lot longer, but we want to do everything we can to actually help that along by changing the thoughts that we focus on, the words that we speak, and the actions that we take. Because ultimately, the world in which we live is given by the thoughts we think, the words we speak, and the actions that we take.
Yes, for sure. Is manifestation a spiritual law, a psychological principle of the brain's reticular activating system?
I think it's a combination of all. It's very easy to move into a spiritual realm as we're looking at manifesting. A lot of times people will use meditation as a way to connect to their higher self in a spiritual realm. They will also use meditation as a way to tap into manifesting that which they want. So it could be very easy for someone to delve into a spiritual angle of manifesting, and the psychological or the thinking about it, the logical thinking about it is all a part of it as well. We need to move out of just the thought process and we need to move into being heart centered. But I think everyone's had the experience of being in love or loving something or feeling something from their heart center, even if they're a very, very mind focused person. So when we move it from that mind focus into our heart center, that's when, as I said before, it moves into that quantum field. So it is definitely part of, it can be part of the spiritual, it can be part of the thought process, and it can be, what was the third that you said? Forgive me, I forgot.
Yes.
What was the
Well,
third thing? You said there were three things. It was the
how do
spiritual, the thought, and then the third one.
that I said this is a regular activating system in the brain.
Yes. So it is absolutely one of the things that occurs in from a brain science perspective as we start to focus on what it is we want to manifest from a critical thinking. We have neural pathways in our brains. There are more neural pathways in our brains than there are uh, grains of sand, I believe, on the planet. It's extraordinary the number of neural pathways. And every time we think a new thought or we experience something new, a new neural pathway gets created. Now, sometimes those neural pathways are never used again, and so they kind of fade off. We have neural pathways that are so strong. They've been firing and wiring together for decades, many of us. We can think back to the thing, if I talk about money, there's a thought you instantly have. That's that neural pathway that's been grooved together for so long, like water passing through a channel. Those neural pathways are super powerful because we think them all the time. They fire and wire and fire and wire and get stronger and stronger and stronger. As we choose to say, you know what? I'm no longer going to think that way. I'm going to create something newly. I'm going to manifest something that I've never been able to manifest before, or something I've never had before that I want. What we do is in that moment, we start to break that old neural pathway, which may be saying, you're never going to have that. You're never going to have that. You're never going to have that. Or it's not possible for you, or you're not smart enough, whatever that may be. We break that old neural pathway. And now we think a new thought. And that new thought creates a new neural pathway, but it's in its infancy. It's tiny, tiny little baby, and it needs to be nurtured and it needs to be nourished. And we need to think about it over and over and over again, which is why we want to be thinking about the thoughts we're thinking, the words we're speaking, and the actions we're taking. Because when those three things are consistent with that which we want to manifest, we start to create and empower that new neural pathway so that every time we wake up in the morning, we think about our life, that new neural pathway is exactly what we're thinking. I am manifesting, or I have, or I am, whatever that may be. And then we feel it, that reinforces it and puts it out into the energetic frequency, or the quantum field as an energy that then can come back to us. Where many people fail in manifestation is they think about something that they want, then they start to feel it, but then that old negative thought comes back. And that negative thought is the poison soil in which we're planting the seeds of manifestation. So we need to clear that soil out. We need to get it clean so that the seeds that we're planting in the terms of manifestation are planted into a soil that is fertile, that will allow it to germinate, allow it to grow. And then that constant thought, words, action, feeling allows it to grow, allows it to reach out as far as it can, and then bring towards us the things that we want to manifest. I think that was a very long answer to your question.
But empowering, Mr. Pericles. Totally empowering answer. And what's the difference between manifesting from a place of desperation versus a place of empowered expectation?
Yeah, the trying to manifest from a place of desperation or a place of suffering generally is trying to fix that which isn't working or that which we don't want. And because we're operating on top of that foundation, it's kind of like that poison soil I was talking about before. I hate my life. I hate my life. So I'm going to manifest something better. Well, the something better is to fix that which is not working. And so that which is not working actually becomes the foundation of what we're trying to manifest. And we're going to manifest more of it, which is why we want to let go of all of that. And it's it's easy to say, and it can be challenging to do. But if we can get to that place of no longer suffering where we are right now, if we can let go of whatever that stress, anxiety, or suffering is and get freed up from those things, then we can truly manifest from a place of purity. And empowerment is an interesting way of putting it. I would say it's more of a place of freedom, because when we're free, we then are we can anything's possible. Even in empowerment, we might be empowered in a specific area, but when we're free everywhere. So empowerment could work. I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying a place of freedom is going to be one of the best places, one of the most pure places to start to manifest, because then we're not manifesting to fix, we're not manifesting to alter, we're manifesting to create something. It's kind of like, if we were to use an analogy, a couple whose their relationship isn't working, they say, well, let's have a baby, that'll fix everything. Well, you're manifesting, you're creating, you're bringing a new life into the world to fix something which is broken, and that's not going to work. We need to fix what's broken first. We need to get to a place where we're okay with each other, and then we can look at what's next for us. What do we want to create in that space?
Truly, truly empowering, Mr. Pericles. And how should someone interpret in when their sincere efforts at manifestation don't seem to work? What are the common pitfalls?
I think that expectations are one of the biggest pitfalls that people have when it comes to manifesting. They they do the work to start, and then they expect to see it immediately. So that expectation is there, it needs to work right now. And what happens is, because we're living inside of that expectation, we miss what evidence is around us to demonstrate that we're actually manifesting that which we want. So, an example of that would be, let's say we want to manifest more money in our lives. And we say, I want to manifest more money in my life. I want to manifest an abundance of money in my life. And then we go out into the world and we start looking around and we don't see money showing up. But what we miss is the penny on the ground or the nickel on the ground. And we say, oh, well, I don't want the penny. I don't want the nickel. What happens is, in that moment, we've shifted our vibrational frequency from I want more money to I don't want more money. It's that simple. We are either in a space of, or an energetic frequency of, I want more money. And so wherever I see money, I'm going to allow it in, or no, I'm shutting it out. So that's one aspect of what that could look like. Another could be somebody comes up to us and starts talking to us about an opportunity around money, a business opportunity, a job opportunity, and we immediately dismiss it. Oh, that's not what I'm interested in. Again, you're saying and creating a vibrational frequency of no, I don't want it, versus allowing it in. Doesn't mean you have to take action on it, but allow it in and listen to what they're saying. Listen and look at the opportunity that's being presented to you, and then express that gratitude for it. Thank you for showing me that money flows to me, or money is abundant in my life. And I appreciate this opportunity. And this is not one of the opportunities I'm going to pursue, but I'm grateful that it was presented to me. That doesn't kill it off. That keeps it in our sphere, keeps that energetic vibration, or that vibrational frequency, consistent. And we keep looking for different things. So we miss the things that are put right in front of us because we have an expectation of what it should look like. Let go of your expectations. Let go of, it's got to be a certain way, it's got to happen in a certain time frame, or look a certain way. All of those things will kill off your ability to manifest, because we can't get to where we want using the same thinking and the same feeling that got us where we are in the first place. We have to shift out of that modality. We have to shift out of that beingness, out of that thinkingness, and try something completely new and freed up.
Mr. Pericles, how do we use manifestation for non tangible goals like inner peace, healing, or stronger relationships?
Yeah, this is great. I love this question. This is something we can manifest this in a nanosecond because it's non physical. We can manifest a better relationship with ourselves. We can manifest freedom, joy, and love in our own lives in a nanosecond because it's all energetic. There's nothing physical that needs to be manifest. When we're looking at manifesting something physical, so money, the dream, our dream relationship, a car, something that's physical, it takes time for that thing to move from the energetics to the physical world. Now, when we're talking about having more self confidence, being in love with ourselves, being free or being fulfilled, we can manifest that instantly because we have the ability to manifest that which is non physical instantly. So it's a matter of shedding all the things that we're suffering over. And I know that there are going to be people out there, and rightfully so. I have no judgment about this. Rightfully so, that feel like, well, you don't know what my life is like. You don't know what my life is like. I hear you and I get it. And I've been there. I've been at the bottom and I know what that's like. And I know that it takes time to get out from that space. But if we live there, if we wallow in that, if we continue to hold it towards us, then we won't ever be able to get out of that space. So when we're grieving, when we're in that space of suffering over something that's happened in our lives, we need to move through that grief, however we move through that grief or suffering or challenging time, whatever that is. Let's say we lose someone we love. We have to grieve through that. We can't just instantly manifest that it's okay, right? We as human beings are emotional beings. And so we want to allow those emotions to come through. We want to allow them to go out. So, in other words, we don't want to hold on to them. We want to experience them. We want to release them. And we want to allow that healing to begin. And there is no right way to do this. I know that there are philosophies out there and modalities out there about this is how you have to grieve. No, it's not. Grieve the way you need to grieve. But my caveat to that is grieve with an intention of moving through and out of the grief, not holding on to the grief. So there's this distinction of grief has me right now. So I'm in its clutches and grief has me. We want to move from that space to I now have grief. It no longer has me. I have it. I can experience grief and I can still function. I can still do the things that I want to do in my life. And then we move beyond that to we had grief. Grief had me at one point, then I had it. Now I'm moving on with my life. And every once in a while, that grief will show up again and I will have it again and I will experience it again. But it doesn't slow me down. It doesn't impact me. So we want to get to that place. Now, I want to give everyone something around suffering that may very well give you a little bit of space or room around that. So we are only ever in the present moment. We are never anywhere else. We are never in the future. We are never in the past. There is no one that you can meet, no one you can talk to that can say, I'm in the past. You're not. You're never in the past. You're only in the present. You're never in the future. You're only in the present. Now, suffering occurs when we're in the present, but we're focused on something in the past. So we're fighting with ghosts from the past. That creates suffering in the present. Or we're worried about and stressed about something that hasn't yet happened in the future. That's when suffering occurs. So the fastest way to relieve suffering is to let go of those ghosts from the past, let go of that worry and anxiety from the future, and get fully grounded and present in the present moment. That's when we start to experience true freedom. That's when we experience true love, fulfillment, joy, and happiness. And that's when we can manifest the things that we want, both in a physical and non physical world. But that instantaneous manifestation can occur in the non physical when we get fully engaged in the present, letting go of all of that suffering from the future or the past, and then get present to I am enough. I am whole and complete. I am extraordinary. I love myself. I'm present to love, whatever that looks like for you.
Yes, I am enough. And I'm the head, not the tail. I'm a victor, not a victim.
Yes.
And Mr. Pericles, before we wrap up our discussion for today, I'm inviting you to please do listen to my other podcast, people. My other podcast, because my abstract essay is already in fifth season, abstract poetry in second season, and my book 101 review in fifth season too. Comedy 101 in second season, and my food 101 in fifth season as well. Geography 101 in fourth season, and my baby podcast Law 101 and Mental Health 101. Love Letters in a third season, and my movie 101 review and music 101 in fourth season, and Science 101 and Sex 101 in its first season. Please listen to them wherever you listen your podcast. So, Mr. Pericles, if you could clear up one universal misunderstanding about manifestation and leave people with one empowering truth, what would it be?
I won't say it's the truth. I'll say that it's the truth for me because the truth for me might be something else for someone else. So find your own truth, find your own place in the world and own it. Own who you are. You are enough. You are not the sum of your failures, you are the sum of your life experience with the things that worked and the things that didn't work. And the things that didn't work make us stronger, make us wiser. And the things that did work make us stronger and make us wiser. Love yourself first. You can't love anyone else unless you love yourself. Love yourself, love yourself, love yourself. And there is no one truth for all. There's only the truth for you. And whatever that is, embrace it and embrace it as long as it's the truth for you. And then when it no longer becomes the truth, find another truth that's the truth for you.
Yes, the truth, but nothing but the truth. Mr. Pericles, thank you so much for sharing your knowledge and wisdom to the world. So, can you please invite our listeners to support your advocacy or whatever projects that you're doing right now?
Right now, it's all about getting the message out to empower people, to free people up. So if you want to visit my website, periclesrellas.com, you're welcome to do that and check out some of my content there. Thank you for having me on, Daniel. It's been a pleasure.
Yes, people, let's support Mr. Pericles Rellas because if we support him for sure, more and more empowering advocacy to come. So, Mr. Pericles, thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you, Daniel.
More to come, people. See you soon.